wow, the dogs just kicked off crazily. And then I would hit record, and it was like, okay, they made Mama mad now. Now there's trouble. Okay, so I haven't been in the bowl here at all. I've been leaving this, but I've been once over the back of this spoon, tip to tail, pretty much. I left off there because this is seemingly kind of punky. I might speak about that in a minute, but yeah, with this knife, the Arsene KD knives, top to bottom, over everything, just a very thin layer, just leaving this kind of stuff, right? And after that, the edge is impeccable. Pretty much, hard to tell from before. So that clearly wasn't much of a problem for this knife. And then I thought, well, I thought a bit more about what I'm trying to actually achieve here in terms of doing some kind of test that's going to give me some kind of data. And I thought, well, if I just keep going up and down the same spoon with the same knife, eventually I'm going to wear out the spoon or the edge. And that's going to give me all kinds of empirical experience and data, but it's not kind of repeatable. And of course, it's not really that repeatable, this thing, unless we can come up with a precise specification of spoon and a precise specification of wood. Then it could become fairly repeatable, especially if you're making multiple units of the same, out of, broadly speaking, the same spec material, and so forth. So yeah, I'm mulling over this, and I whittled up and down, and I got to say, I'm quite pleased with the way the spoon is going. Because it widens out here, it can be much thinner in this area, and taper this way, obviously, out as it thins in this way. It's still pretty robust. Yeah, I will tidy up the bowl later, but I can't do that with the knives that I'm testing now. Knives, because I grabbed another one to test. This Bestech Thyra. So M390. And this is Damasteel. I think we're running at, I don't think it's ultra. I may actually have, I've got a certificate here I can look into. No HRC. Oh, it's not Damasteel. Nichols. Doi. I misnamed it. So I believe that is a stainless Damascus, but it's not Damasteel, so it won't be, I guess it's not powder metallurgy. But yeah, Chad Nichols, made in 2023. So I don't know. Well, I would imagine that this got to be low 60s, 61, 62, maybe 63, And yeah, the performance of the blade is great, really nice carving. And the handle goes good. Very satisfactory. Had a great time. And so then I moved over to this knife, which is one with my edge on it. This is, brand new maker's edge on this one. And this is not just my edge, this is my bevel, right? I blended in, I just flattened the whole thing. This had a primary and secondary bevel and a very thick geometry. I flattened it all out, went for kind of like a zero grind Scandi thing with a very slight convex at the edge there. So performance-wise, actually it's, I could maybe make some little demonstration cuts. This blade I would characterize as more steerable. And when I say steerable, I mean kind of like a submarine where you can steer up and down, right? So you can cut in and cut out, and you can do what you can describe, cut in a little more, cut out a little more, cut in a little more. This knife doesn't give you that same level of controllability because it's so flat. However, the cut is keener. and it just takes, you can still get great control, but it takes like more precision movement kind of thing. It's a different experience, different flow. It is really, this is precisely the kind of thing that I tuned this knife for, right? So it is behaving very satisfactorily with this M390 blade. Again, probably around 60, 61 Rockwell, I would imagine. Bestech, they do pretty good work. And yeah, so I went all the way up and down on this. And during that, I realized that something I should be doing if I'm doing this is have a pencil. I've got a pencil. Well, I don't, but I can even use a biro, I guess. Is basically, okay, that's no good. But what I would want to do is make some hatching with a pencil all the way up and down. And then as long as I'm kind of working sequentially, as I just did, I start at the tip and work my way down, and I get here and I have to change direction a little bit and so on and so forth. But that means it's fairly repeatable, right? If I do this with this knife and I'm removing a very thin layer of wood, it's not just that then it's the same material, it's the same grain structure and challenge of cuts that I'm making. I mean, none of these cuts are very challenging, right? But they do all present different stresses to the edge. So kind of repeatable in that. And also, excuse me, I think I neglected to mention, and that on this top side, I'm only scraping now because I'm not really looking to remove stock here. I'm just looking to clean it up, right? And so then scraping is obviously also a different kind of stress that I can then apply to the edge. And that is, I would imagine, for these kinds of steels, is going to be more stressful than plain old cutting, right? Because now you're dragging the apex sideways. So I can go all the way up. I can go tip to tail. Let's say back and sides, right? Get my chamfers around the back and this stuff. Then test on the paper. And then do the scrape and then test on the paper. And this one came out fine as well. Possibly actually feels a little, I don't know. It's like the same as when I'm cutting the wood, It's hard to say which one's better. But this is going to have more edge stability in principle, I would imagine. I would have to have more edge stability. In fact, I can also, let me see kind of what kind of angle from flat to engaging cut. If I find a flat bit here. Because I can kind of gauge my edge angle, right? And I can say that these knives actually have a very similar edge angle on them. Very similar edge angle, but what's going on behind is rather distinct. I think we might be dealing with the same kind of stock thickness here. If not identical, we're very close. My kind of blades. And when it's my kind of blade, it kind of wins me over to the handle and all that, if it works. I did carry this knife in my pocket today, and the pocket clip is like, if I compare it, for example, to this pocket clip, I would have to say that this one works a little better for me. It's a little more versatile, this style of clip. However, what I noticed with this is interesting is that it has a slightly different feel to the function, where this kind of thing slides in. This actually clicks. It actually kind of clips. Let's see if I can demonstrate in my pocket here. Yeah, just kind of slides on, grabs really tight. Shut the knife. This one, I have to help it in, right? Click. It's like a detent In fact, there you go. Now I don't have to help it in. I guess either it's softened up or I... So, okay, now I'm actually giving a very positive review to this pocket clip. I think that Mr. Dlugos, Camille, my friend, he sat down with a... That's called parasociality, by the way. I own knives from the guy, and therefore I think he's cool and he's my friend, and he doesn't know me from Adam. But yeah, I think he must have sat down with a pair of jeans and some different samples, clips, and done some calculation here or something. Okay, how many times have I done this now? Let's go like 3-4 times more, maybe. We're practicing. Okay, I think we're wearing the jeans there in that spot. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, starch. Wouldn't that help? Has anyone ever thought of that before? Starch this area of your pocket so that your pocket clip, you know, maybe paint it around the back there with a little G-Flex epoxy. Open up the seam, paint G-Flex epoxy inside, re-stitch. I'm just saying, I'm full of good ideas. Thanks for watching.